What's going on with the goings on, y'all? You see me, you New York, concrete jungle where streets are made of, and nothing you can do. Now you're in New York, New York, New York. Shout out to the New York Knicks. They are finally champions. Since what? How long it's been? 1973? You know what I'm saying? The Crook movie was out when y'all made something happen. You know what I'm talking about? You feel me? And he was doing a remake. Looked like he was about 12. Shout out to Spike Lee. Y'all need to get Spike Lee a ring. I wrote that all the way down in the beginning of the end. But y'all need to get that man something, okay? Shout out to the New York Knicks. Shout out to the San Antonio Spurs. They tried. They fought effortlessly, but like in the end, they ran out of gas. And I guess they just, you know what I'm saying, shout out to the coaching staff. You feel me? I ain't gonna just shout out Mike. I'm gonna shout out everybody. Shout out to the whole coaching staff, cause hey, you know what I'm saying? They coached a good game. You know what I'm talking about? You understand me? They let them wear themselves out. And shout out to Jalen Brunson. Okay, you were disputed and debuted and put down, and a small car couldn't do it, and I mean, they said a lot about you. I think I even said a few things. You know what I'm talking about? I didn't follow you. You know what I'm talking about? To the promised land. I had my bits and pieces. Definitely had some good commentary. Shout out to you, Mr. Brunson. You had 45 points. You refused to lose. You talking about y'all was down damn near the whole game. You know what I'm talking about? Up until the last 4 minutes of the fourth quarter. You feel me? And then the game changed. You feel me? And you ain't changed with it. You was consistent even up until, you know what I'm saying, the game before that where you shot the three to even get y'all to game 5. Know what I'm talking about? So shout out to you, good brother, for not giving up. We gonna win this game. We coming back to New York in a parade fashion. You understand me? And I underdig that. I was ready for that. I wasn't ready for all that crowd noise though. You know what I'm talking about? They sang Alicia Keys like they knew Alicia Keys. Shout out to Alicia Keys for changing her whole concert series. She was finna go to work. She said, you know what? We in New York. You know what I'm saying? We finna do this the right way. You know what I'm talking about? I liked it, that Pelly Pelly too. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, shout out to New York and the Knicks, and you know what I'm talking about? Motherfuckers like, I give a good handshake to the Spurs though. You know, Dylan Harper didn't give up. That man had like 25. You know what I'm talking about? Wembenyama, he only had 19 points. He could have scored more. But he had a bunch of rebounds, like 14 of them. He had like 5 blocks. He was there. You know what I'm talking about? I don't think it just wasn't enough. Niggas like Castle and Fox missing shots and not showing up. It was definitely a great downfall. You know what I'm saying? So did the Knicks win the game, or did the San Antonio Spurs lose the game? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. But I will say this though, Brunson never gave up throughout the whole game. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely a nail biter. I was on the edge of my seat the whole game. You know what I'm talking about? Already with the alreadys. Uh, but yeah, watch out for them Spurs. They definitely coming. You know what I'm talking about? It was just inexperience. You know what I'm saying? Lack of hydration. You know what I'm saying? Lack of confidence. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Then you got the betting side. Then you got the scripted side. You know, they got a whole bunch of stories to tell. So, you know what I'm talking about? It's definitely a words to be had. And I'm gonna let them have them because you guess what? We done talked about the New York Knicks a long time, a good 5 minutes. You know what I'm talking about? I will say this though, we got to stop letting it go down to the wire like that. I mean, y'all didn't catch a break until like the last, like I said, the last 4 minutes of the game. But that's no here nor there. Let's get into some of these antics, and then guess what? I'm gonna start talking about this young battle rap. I did get to see the Charlie Kipps and Anderson Burris situation. I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Fuck me. I think Anderson Burris won. So I'm asking y'all, do y'all think he won too? I'm just saying. I'm just asking. You know what I'm saying? Charlie Clips definitely came with what he usually come with. You know what I'm saying? But let's push the like we ain't even hear the crowd. What do y'all think? Well, you know, if you want to can get technical, Anderson Burris had a few hiccups, so we can definitely draw the conclusion that Charlie Clips could have won. You know what I'm saying? That first round though, I edged it to Anderson Burris by a little bit though, not a lot. And then the second round, he got help from the crowd. You know what I'm saying? He had lost his way, and somebody in the crowd told him where he was at. But even the bars that he spit, you know what I'm saying? It was digestible. So, should I say both of them had digestible second rounds? Who won in those rounds, though? I edged the third round to Anderson Burris, though. So, what are we talking about with the second? Because of his hiccups, we give it to Charlie Clips. And then the third round, you could tell Charlie was freestyling. He had a good freestyle. But Eric Anderson Burris had a wonderful written. So are we going with wonderful or are we going with good? You know what I'm talking about? To me, it's the second round for me. It's very debatable. He had a lot of exciting bars in there, and then Charlie Clips was Charlie Clips, not Charlie Clips that just come regular. He did his goddamn due diligence. So who we get a match to? You know what I'm saying? I'm edging Anderson Burris. That's just cause now if Charlie Clips would have wrote in the majority of that third round, not even the whole round, because I could tell he wrote a little bit, but it's like, nah, you freestyle most of that shit. So if he'd have wrote more than freestyle, that could have been a debatable battle. Go how you want to go. But I'm edging Mr. Anderson. Talking about, like I said, second round was exciting. So I'm edging Mr. Anderson. First and third. But that's no here nor there. Depends on where you at with it. You feel me? Let's get into some of these antics before I get misconstrued. You know what I'm talking about? I say you broke my woman's heart. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to young Rollo. You sure you broke my daughter's heart? Mrs. Jackson said you broke my daughter's heart. You understand? Shout out to you. I see you came out to the what was that? Don Tolliver concert not too long ago. You know what I'm talking about? One of your first concerts. I wonder how it felt. Oh no, it was wonderful. Shout out to you, good brother. Shout out to Kim Kardashian. Seen you over the weekend. You know what I'm talking about? You came out with your son Saint. You know what I'm saying? Y'all took a few pictures. You know what I'm talking about? Something light, something heavy. Hey, it was steady though. You know what I'm talking about? For real, for real. Shout out to you, good man. Shout out to Mayor Sheffield and Skilla Baby. I guess Friday they gave out bikes. They had a small little concert. I seen that a lot of people attended. You know what I'm talking about? Due to the ramifications of my situation. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't moving like I used to. You know what I'm talking about? But shout out to you good people. It seemed like y'all had a wonderful event. You know what I'm saying? It was at the Butler Center. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gave out some bikes. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Already with the alreadys. Shout out, I guess a man, you know what I'm talking about? Ain't giving out no specifics. But he married some women, or at least he thought they were women. It was like 4 of them. He found out that they was trannies. I wonder how that story developed. You feel me? And the conclusion would be very nice. But yeah, that was a story I seen over the weekend. Shout out to you, good brother. I hope you doing well. Yeah, I hope you single too. For real, for real. Shout out to Charleston White. I don't know what you're doing, Charleston. One day you in, one day you out. One day you supporting black folks, the next thing you like fuck black folks. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I've been following you for a while, maybe a couple years now, and sometimes you just cease to amaze me with the anthems that you come up with, sir. Like, you was all for Carmelo Anthony. You know what I'm talking about? Until you found out that his family ain't for Carmelo Anthony. You know what I'm talking about? For real. And that's when you supposed to make your GoFundMe and made it, and the only person got access to it is you. You know what I'm talking about? And we gonna get all this done, and it's gonna get done through you. You ain't gotta retract nothing. And then the motherfuckers, I hate when people is late too, cause somebody just offered up like $500,000 on Mr. Boosie. Mr. Boosie badass, excuse my language. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know clickbait when clickbait be clickbaiting. You know what I'm talking about? Same time I'm saying Charleston White saying he taking his money back. You see Boosie saying he giving up money. You know what I'm talking about? So you was just saying that just to be saying that. And sometimes you gotta say it fast, can't say it late. The motherfucker catch it. It's like, hey, hold on, you lying. You ain't giving them no $500,000. You feel me? Not no worthy cause. You ain't been doing it. But that's no here nor there. Charleston White, what you doing? I understand that. And then I seen another clickbait situation where motherfucker said that they collected like 650,000. 650,000, and they ain't got no money for basically the lawyer and the retrial. That 650,000 is well enough. You in a small state. It shouldn't cost that much, even with a high profile case such as this one. It shouldn't cost that much for no lawyer. You know what I'm talking about? Well, hey, you know, everybody got their own understanding. Yeah. I need to get this shit understood. For real, for real. Somebody need to come up with something. Shout out to Big Tigger. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I seen the apologies, and I still ain't heard no rants from Alicia since this incident. And what's her take on Big Tigger saying it's not true, it's a lie? And his mistress, Franny, you know what I'm talking about? Talking about we ain't never had relations. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's gonna have to be a court situation. That's the only way this thing can get resolved. You know what I mean? Because we don't know what the real truth is. And then if you seen BT in the 90s, you know what I'm talking about? He definitely know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about? He was in his 30s in the 90s. late 80s, he was in his 20s. I'm just saying. You know what I'm talking about? I can't say this. Truth do come to the light. You know what I mean? But then again, shit, most of them people is 40 now. You know what I'm saying? Probably got kids. They don't want to be reenacting no nothing. And then and back in that in the early 90s, motherfuckers was doing heavy narcotics. Motherfucker don't want to rehash none of that. You know what I mean? Let's see. Shout out to Young Juicy Fruit. I seen you, Mrs. Juicy Fruit. You know what I'm talking about? I still think you should put some clothes on, but hey, if it's selling, it's selling. I ain't mad at you. I like your new music. You know what I'm talking about? Already with the alreadys. You feel me? Shout out to I guess this is Rant Station. Shout out to DJ Academic. I guess over the weekend he went on a Lil Baby rant. Lil Baby, he talked about Young Thugger. He even talked about ASAP Rocky. You know what I'm talking about? And his escapades. But you know, that's just like back in the early 80s. To have an edge, people like Michael Jordan, who wore a jersey, his North Carolina jersey under his Chicago Bull jersey in the playoffs in order for him to get the jobs done. You feel me? People were wearing things under things, you know what I'm saying, to get them motivation for years and decades. So to see ASAP Rocky in a thong, it was disturbing, but yet at the same time, I understand it. You feel me? He had to give himself some kind of edge. Ain't no edges going on in this world we living in. You feel me? Everybody living on edge. You feel me? Ain't nobody making none. You know what I mean? So I don't know. You know, we nigga can debate that. But the whole Lil Baby and DJ Academic calling him a rat. Everybody in Atlanta rats. You know what I'm saying? It's a rat station. Let him tell it. You know what I'm talking about? But hey, you know what I'm talking about? You guilty by association, right? Yeah, but Lil Baby and DJ Academic got their own thing going on. So to each his own, I imagine. Uh Shout out to the Price family. Now this happened in Detroit. So I guess a young man that was part of the family unalived four people. You know what I'm saying? A mother and husband, and then his little brother and his girlfriend. You know what I'm talking about? And my condolences to the Pierce family. Um, or am I saying it right? It's either Pierce or Price, one of the two. Um, but yeah, shout out to that family, man. I hope you get the resolve you need. You know what I'm saying? I seen y'all at the pub. You know what I'm saying? You talk about how nice the gentleman was and how they just took Tanner out there. You know what I'm saying? Unalive them. But yeah, shout out to y'all family, man. Shout out to DMX and his family. I guess his son had some choice words for the people in Yonkers. So I guess Yonkers decided to name a street after DMX. And through the speeches, I guess DMX son, I forgot his name, Xavier, I think it is. Shout out to Xavier. So Xavier, you know what I'm saying, wanted to say his little piece and how the family, the fiance don't support, you know what I'm saying, the family like she's supposed to, and this and that and that and this. That's a feud you have over the phone. You don't spew that out in the ceremony, uh, respecting your father. Yeah, you don't bring that. That's a family that's a family situation you keep in the family. You don't let everybody else know what's going on when it's going on and how it's going on for that matter. You know what I'm talking about? But that's no here nor there. I guess that's just what it is when it is what it is. Shout out to Casanat. Yeah, shout out to Casanat. You feel me? I'm respecting that. And yeah, don't let Soldier Boy in. Let him make his rap university. Let nobody come to the situation. And you continue doing what you're doing. I see you put AB and Den. You put AB and Den up there. You feel me? Tell them they gotta come back. They doing too much explicit content, huh? Yeah, everybody can't be everybody. Somebody gotta be somebody, huh? Shout out to you, young Constantine, man. You keep doing what you doing, sir. Seen a couple other people that you told to go home, you know what I'm saying? Like the Chinese dude. Yeah. He almost choked you out though. You know, he was madder than two son of a guns, okay? And shout out to the family that called the mom. Mom called up there and you still didn't change your mind. I'm liking that. You feel me? And like you told AB and then, you got time. You know what I'm talking about? Clean it up a little bit. You feel me? I might have to change your heart. You know what I mean? But other than that, I like the way you conducting your business, young Casanat. And shout out to you. It's crazy out there. Uh Shout out to the lady in Bridgeport. I guess some cops pulled somebody up. Well, I ain't gonna say pulled somebody over. They stopped and seized like 23 pounds of marijuana at a smoke shop. You know what I'm saying? I guess the shit was laced too. So I mean, I'm glad they did raid that smoke shop. It was in Bridgeport too. You know what I'm talking about? So, you know, I hope all is well. Even though it's Bridgeport, Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? That's common law state, ain't it? Yeah, it might be shit 23 pounds. Hey, they might give you a year for each pound. And then tack on whatever misconceptions they may have of you. You might end up doing like 33, 40 years for them little pounds. You know what I'm talking about? If you was in Michigan, it'd be a misdemeanor. You know what I mean? Hey, you know what I'm saying? To each his own. And let's see. Shout out to Serena Williams. I seen you over the weekend getting your little pit pat on. You know what I'm talking about? She, if who don't know, I don't see who don't know who Serena Williams is. But for those who don't, she's a tennis player. Shoot, I wouldn't even be saying greatest of all time if she wouldn't have came along. You know what I'm saying? Because Michael Jordan never did it, so I probably would have never done it. But I seen some of the greatest tennis. I told you I wouldn't follow tennis or golf. Well, Tiger Woods probably would have made me follow golf. But you know, once you watch a tennis match, your adrenaline be high. I don't know about you. Once I understood how points go and strategy and shit, one of the greatest sports, and it calm you down. You can smoke a joint or two, you know what I'm saying, and watch a tennis match, male or female. You know what I'm talking about? I just fell in love with it through Serena. But I still would, especially the U.S. Open, Wimbledon, I would watch that regardless because Pete Francis, you know what I'm saying, Mrs. King, like, so I watched it back in the day. I just didn't pay it no attention, didn't worry about the points and all that and all that. You know, once I got into deep into that bag, it was pretty much a wrap. Then I wanted to understand what golf was like too. You know what I'm saying? In my 20s, I wanted to be, you know what I'm saying, somebody. You know what I'm talking about? I still couldn't figure out who I was. I guess the internet saved my life for real, for real. Shout out to the internet. You know what I'm talking about? But shout out to you though, Serena. I see you back. We shall see once you do single matches how good you really are though. You know, people say they want to be somebody until they are somebody. You feel me? Shout out to Mrs. Jiggs. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to you, young lady. I see you doing. You finally dropped your little song. I ain't gonna say little. You finally dropped your song with Peasy. We'll see what it do when it's doing what it's do. You know what I'm talking about? Already with the alreadys. Uh, Shout out to some of these kids, bro. I seen a few kids, you know what I'm saying, talk about the Carmelo Anthony situation and another young man that got unalived in that parameter. And so these kids upset too. Everybody, it ain't just me that's mad. Everybody mad for real, for real. Cause they like, hey, we've been doing the no justice, no peace for a while now. But like I told y'all before, and I'll say it again, ain't nobody gonna fall on the sword. So they gonna continue to act accordingly. Ain't nobody gonna act like they ain't got no sense. You know what I'm talking about? But no here no there. Don't pay me no never mind. I just letting you know that the kids are upset and they ain't understanding why. You feel me? Why we having so much injustice? And ain't nobody talking about nothing. We supposed to be having unpeaceful riots at this point. You know what I'm saying? We gonna see how this boycott go though with these people. We definitely gonna see that. We gonna see how it pan out. Hopefully it's for the good. You know what I'm saying? I was always taught it'll get greater later, but I'm to the point where I'm at later, and things haven't got greater. They got worse. You know what I'm saying? To the point where I don't, adults not even recognizing the truth, and if they is recognizing the truth, they ain't doing nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? And I know from prior experience, you ain't nothing coming overnight. You know what I'm talking about? It's gonna take a while, but we need a while to keep it moving. You know what I'm talking about? For real, for real. Yeah. Can't have the babies upset because then they can't concentrate. You know what I'm saying? Now they out here doing foolish antics because their parents ain't paying no attention. And if you see it, you should tell it. Tell it to your uncle. Tell it to your brother. Tell it to your mother. You feel me? Let her know what's going on and how you don't understand the injustices in the world. Let her explain it to you. You feel me? Because I can't be the one. I'm not in your house. And then you know what's funny? You know what I'm talking about? We gonna go on to the next subject. I guess I said Francesca, which is Franny, which is Big Tigger's co-host. I guess her family was upset about the situation. You know what I'm talking about? And it's like they supposed to be upset. They supposed to be frustrated, bro. You know what I'm saying? They supposed to not understand what's going on and why they keep talking about their significance. You know what I'm talking about? But hey, you know what I'm talking about? When you do things behind closed doors, they come to the light. They got to. They in the dark the whole time. As soon as they see some light come through, they run into it. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, you know what I mean? The 90s was a hell of a time. We shall see. Speaking of shall see, what's up, Mrs. Cardi B? I guess over the weekend you needed some food dropped off, huh? You went to a food vendor and she recognized your voice. Like, is this Cardi B? You was hesitant, but you still was like, yeah, it's me. He was like, oh, look what's saying your name got you. Got you some free food. Ain't nothing like free victuals, especially chicken out of all places. Chicken and some fries. Them fries looked delicious. Shit. You need to send me them fries. It's like, no, I'm just playing what I'm playing. You know what I'm talking about? But shout out to you though, Mrs. Food Vendor. You know what I'm talking about? For real. You and Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? For even recognizing that it was her. You sure could have said, no, this ain't me. You feel me? And sent your little muscle man up there and let them collect the food. She wouldn't have been none the wiser. I don't know if you would have got it for free though. You'd have went from free to like $65. For real. So I guess that was a win for everybody. Man, I guess we're gonna get into some random raving before we get up out of here. You know what I'm talking about? We got a lot more to go though. So don't you worry. This gonna be a long little situation. Shout out to Bill Gates. So I guess Bill Gates was once again, caught up in another scandal. Once you become a millionaire, scandals come a dime a dozen. You can damn near buy them when things don't sound like they talking about you. So I guess Bill Gates, he was going to the I guess it was the Supreme Court, and he was testifying on the Epstein files and how he was he was manipulated and blackballed. He was manipulated. That's how it was. You know what I'm saying? Blackmail. That's what he called it. And and to participating in whatever Mr. Epstein had going on. You feel me? And then once the pictures was taken, I guess, that's when the blackmail kicked in, and he knew about his sex infidelities through the emails. I guess Mr. Epstein had emails of him saying inappropriate things. You know what I'm saying, to females. You feel me? And a lot of the emails, I guess, would have came out, and he would have been blackballed in the situation. So he just went along with whatever was going on. Just because you got some misunderstanding don't mean you can't. Oh, if you hear the noise in the background, you know it's real. You feel me? So you can't just, give up because you heard something. But I guess that's the way of the world these days. So he's a male figure that didn't want to give up his position and his stamp on the world. And then at that time, especially if he caught it early, Bill Gates wasn't even really Bill Gates. It was just not getting his money. So he probably didn't want to fuck his money up. You know what I'm talking about? You know how the situation be real, but niggas don't be wanting to say it's real. But it really be going on. You know what I'm talking about? And ain't nobody trying to go back home. They trying to stay in them hotels. They trying to stay building this and building that. You know what I'm talking about? They don't want to stop. So they do all the ramifications for it not to stop. But that's crazy. Shout out to Streamer University again. You know what I'm talking about? And Keefe Lee. I guess Keefe Lee want to be part of Streamer University. And he want to open up some type of food club or some type of food critic program, or he don't know if he want to be a teacher or a student. You know what I'm talking about? The teacher teaches the teacher. You know what I mean? That way he become a student. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the atmosphere you in. You know what I'm saying? And the way you do vendors and have everything. You know what I'm saying? Accordingly. You know what I mean? You might be able to teach a brother or two how to do this. You feel me? Shout out to you though, Keefe Lee. Hope everything works out for you, good brother. What up though, AB? I seen you over the weekend. I seen you that AB bought some Cartiers for you and Dan. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all went live stream with it. That's definitely how you do it, good brother. Now all you gotta do is keep your infidelities on lock and you'll be alright. But then it'd be like, damn, what is you streaming then after that? You know what I mean? It's that you got to find another antic if we telling you to keep them on lock. What else y'all gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Your antics is what got y'all where y'all at. Do you got another story to tell? That'll definitely be what it is. You know what I'm saying? And shout out, as we talking about this, shout out to all the black-owned beauty shops. You know what I'm saying? I see we gonna boycott everything. So hey, all you black-owned beauty shops, y'all need to start coming on. Y'all need to start streaming. Show you that you shampooing. Show that you cleaning toes and nails. You know what I'm saying? More commercials. The more commercial viewing, the less people gotta go around looking for where you at. You know what I'm saying? Because they already know where you at. They remember that commercial from, you know what I'm saying? Just think about it. Love that chicken from Popeyes. Look how many commercials, that same song, Love That Chicken from Popeyes, that they made. You know what I'm saying? They made so many of them commercials. They end up getting Megan Thee Stallion. Do you feel me? Definitely had her sell it. Just think about it. McDonald's had Mary J. Blige. That commercial went on so long that it be stuck in your head sometime. You know what I'm talking about? Or was that Burger King that had Mary J. Blige? Might have been Burger King. Either way it go, it's stuck in your head. Mary J. Blige commercial stuck in your head. And it make you go get some fast food. Just saying. Shout out to the Knicks again. You know what I'm saying? Well, streets are made of. Now you're in New York, New York, New York. Yeah, orange and blue skies. Orange and blue skies, baby. You know what I'm talking about? Listen, I'm geeking on top of geek. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? I told you my favorite color. You know what I'm talking about? Did I tell you my favorite color? Definitely orange. You know what I'm talking about? The stars are spreading the news. Shout out Jim Jones. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be a part of it. New York, New York. You know what I'm talking about? For real. Shout out to everybody from the NYC. You know me. You understand me already with the already. I guess I gotta bring some of this notion down. Shout out to Young and May. Shout out to Tion Taylor. I seen you, baby. Had the young Mike Jack glove on. You know what I'm talking about, with the New York emblem on it. And look at you go. Shout out to Stephen A. Smith. You ain't gotta have a heart attack no more, good brother. You know what I'm saying? Sky is the limit. And it's orange and blue. You understand me? You know what it do. You know what I mean? Already with the alreadies. You know who I want to shout out a little bit too, man? Because he don't get his due diligence. I guess I got to say it again. Jalen Brunson. And I don't even, that's my second time. I told you, I don't even, you know what I'm talking about? He ain't really, you know what I'm saying, somebody I'm going to be, I like to talk about a lot, but hey, I gotta give motherfucking MVP its just due. You know what I'm talking about? You did what you was supposed to do, brother. Even when it was times and I'm like, you need to slow it down. You feel me? The Cap series when y'all swept the motherfucker, and I was like, y'all need to let Cat do his thing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all swept them. The very next series, you went off. I mean, y'all beat that team too, but it was just like, you know what I'm talking about? Talking about the Philly series. And you was going to work, but it was like, damn, why is this nigga going to work? Do you feel me? Forgive me, for I have sinned. Why is you going to work, sir? But it came out promising, so hey, what can I say? You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to you though, good brother. Shout out to Eldon Smith. Eldon Smith played for the San Francisco 49ers, man. And I don't know what his unaliving was all about, so rest in heaven. You know what I'm saying? He was 36 years young, though. You feel me? He was a pass rusher. You know what I'm saying? He had like 19 sacks. Not last year, but the year before. He had, look at me go. He had 14 this year that just passed. And then you died 36 young. There's definitely need to be an investigation on that. I don't care if it was narcotics or what it was. We need to find out why Eldon Smith passed away. For real, for real. On everything I love. I think I'm going to say this on the top of my screen every time, too. What happened to Eldon Smith? Shout out to Spike Lee. Remember I told you earlier in the broadcast, Spike Lee need him a ring. Spike Lee been Spike Lee since before his movie situation. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think. Spike Lee been buying season tickets since the 80s. He been waiting 40 years for this situation to occur. And it finally occurred. He definitely he need his own Spike Lee ring. You feel me? Knowing Spike Lee though, he gonna buy him one. He gonna find him a way. You know what I'm talking about? If the New York Knicks don't just honorarily give him his ring. And if you know, I don't wish nothing on nobody. If he do gets unalive, y'all need to not sell him tickets. You know what I'm talking about? Make that his own little section. You feel me? Shout out to Spike Lee though, for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? And he's definitely a Nike supporter. Feel me? Yeah, they need to get that man a ring. Orange and blue skies. You know what I'm talking about? For real, for real. Shout out to the young lady who got unalive over the weekend because she didn't have a bungee cord on. So I guess the instructor forgot to put the bungee cord on and threw a woman over the edge. Yeah, I gotta say throw. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's what they did. They picked her up and they threw her over the edge and then realized the bungee cord wasn't on. I mean, I wanted to laugh like I'm laughing now, but at the same time, I'm like, damn, bro. You working that hard that you forgot to put the bungee cord on? Like, what were you thinking? That it was that many distractions up there in the blue sky that you forgot to do your due diligence. You forgot to do your job, huh? Your job was that strenuous that you weren't paying attention to what you had going on. Yeah, they definitely gonna throw you if they ain't already threw you under the jail. You need to be well under there. You know what I'm talking about? And when and if the parole happens, it shouldn't. Because what were you doing? You were negligent for sure. You know what I'm talking about? They got a lawsuit all day long. I hope they make big money. I hope they own whatever that is. And then knock it down. So it don't happen again. For real, for real. Shout out to the woman that, you know what I'm saying, got unalive. For real, for real. We got two more. And then we out of here. So you got Mojo Brooks. I guess he did a joke. It was him and a Caucasian male. You know what I'm talking about? And I guess the Caucasian male had met his wife through looking for young ladies, you know what I'm talking about, in the town he was in. And then once he got her, he moved to another town. You know what I'm talking about? And that's exactly what you do. You know what I'm saying? You get your little breezy and you for sheezy. You know what I'm talking about? Deuces. You know what I'm talking about? I'm out of here. I'm gonna get you away from here before they corrupt your mind into thinking that I'm somebody I'm definitely not. Cause I done found my catch. So shout out to you, Mojo Brooks, and your good antics. Shout out to E40 for cracking the top 200. You know what I'm saying? 33 times. We appreciate you, kind brother. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of like you said, it's true. It's a lot of artists, especially these days, that can't crack the top 500. You know what I'm talking about? Let alone the top two, and to do it for as long as you did it. And then, like he was stating, yeah, the top 200 Billboard charts is a multitude of everything from rap, pop, kid pop, the grass, uh, rock and roll. What else? It's a multitude. It's a vastly amount of artistry there. You know what I'm saying? And your paintbrush definitely be paint. So kudos to you, good brother. And I guess NBA Youngboy is the only one that surpassed this feat. You feel me? So shout out to you as well. You got over 33 entries of the top 200. That's shit. You know what I'm saying? That's a check forever, ain't it? For real, for real. Shout out to all you young gentlemen. Shout out to everybody that I spoke about today. You feel me? It's a great Monday. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? If you see the light, you know it's real. And with all that being said, it's the old skin goes orange and blue skies. It's like, nah. Like the old saying goes, the smoke's gone, I'm gone.